A maritime disaster left my younger sibling and partner stranded on an uninhabited isle. After an extensive search, our family finally located them, only to discover that both had amnesia and had formed a bond. My partner, visibly pregnant, rested against my brother's embrace, turning me into a subject of ridicule among our acquaintances. Their narrative captured the attention of the press, prompting my parents to suggest that I relinquish my partner to my brother. Labeling me as irrational, I stood my ground, which led to a campaign of defamation, online harassment from internet users, and condemnation from my family. This relentless pressure drove me into a deep depression, ultimately resulting in my untimely death. However, I was reborn with a purpose. Determined to take control, I had created an online account during their time on the deserted island to honor my partner and brother. Internet users were moved by my story, and on the day of their rescue, I live-streamed the entire search for my expectant partner and brother. Little did I know, the real drama was just beginning. Suddenly, I found myself transported back to the day of the shipwreck. The tragedy was being broadcast on television, and the rescue efforts were in a frantic race against time. My parents were visibly distraught, holding a protective talisman and praying fervently to shield me from the impending disaster. Approaching them to offer comfort, I addressed my father and mother, assuring them that Joel and Mia would be safe. My mother, however, glanced at me with overwhelming emotion and suddenly broke down, saying, "If you hadn't proposed the trip, Joel wouldn't have been on that vessel." Her gaze was laden with bitterness, as if she wished I had been the one on the ship instead. In my previous existence, her accusations shattered me, filling me with guilt and self-reproach. It was Mia and I who had suggested the 7-day voyage, and later, my brother had learned of it and insisted on joining. All the tickets had been secured, but due to work commitments, I couldn't accompany them, watching them depart with regret. I initially believed it was mere coincidence, but after my death and transformation into a vengeful spirit, I realized everything had been orchestrated by them. Their relationship had been established long before the incident, and the amnesia was fabricated. Upon discovering her pregnancy, Mia couldn't conceal it, leading her and Joel to concoct a cover story. As a vengeful spirit, I lingered around them, overhearing their conceited conversations. "Joel, you're so clever. When I mentioned my amnesia, they actually fell for it. Now I can openly be with you." I witnessed them receiving praise from netizens, their island romance even being adapted into a film during the Mid-Autumn Festival. Overwhelmed by despair, I ended my life through suicide. The two who caused my demise visited my grave hand in hand, bringing reporters to dramatize their movie and reminiscing about the past. Tears streamed uncontrollably as I knelt before my mother, sobbing so intensely that I could barely breathe. "Dad, Mom, it's my fault for not protecting my brother. If I had been more adamant, he wouldn't have boarded that ship. I can't face you." Ultimately, my heartbreak caused me to lose consciousness. Upon regaining consciousness, the family's private physician informed me that I had fainted from emotional distress. Observing my profound sorrow, my father attempted to console my mother. "Don't blame Gabriel. Joel chose to go, and no one desired this outcome." Seeing my pale face, my mother ceased her reproaches. In my past life, all the blame had been placed on me, filling me with guilt and resentment. It was meant to be a honeymoon for the couple. How did involving my brother make any sense? He was adamant about attending, throwing tantrums to get his way. Mia had no issue with bringing him, so I consented. He insisted, so why was it my fault? When I couldn't contain myself and responded, they berated me, labeling me as heartless and ungrateful, accusing me of causing harm without acknowledgement. Subsequently, my relationship with my parents deteriorated, and until my brother was found, they held animosity towards me. In this life, I vowed not to be naive again. If it's about acting, I could portray sorrow more convincingly than anyone else. I hadn't eaten or drunk for several days, weeping relentlessly, and was hospitalized twice during this period. Friends and colleagues offered comfort. Even Mia's family encouraged me to stay strong and not collapse before they were found. Since the shipwreck, the incident had been trending, with some entertainment platforms displaying gray banners to mourn the victims. With trembling hands, I created a Weibo account under my name, Gabriel. I composed and posted my first Weibo. Joel, Mia, you will return safely, won't you? May the heavens protect you. I'm willing to sacrifice half my life for your safety. This post included a tag and quickly garnered hundreds of likes and numerous supportive comments. Each day thereafter, I continued to post updates. As the incident remained prominent, one of my posts went viral after a few days. On the 7th day of waiting, I expressed my anguish. Why is heaven making me suffer like this? I wish it were me in danger, not my brother and partner. I can't eat or sleep. I feel like I'm dying. Joel, I still remember the first time I saw you. You were so small, held in Dad's arms. It was the first time I felt the responsibility of being an older brother. Watching you grow up, so lively and adorable, sometimes you were such a handful. If I had been firmer in refusing you this time, not letting you board the ship, would none of this have happened? Mia, in the 3 years we were together, I felt complete every day. You always encouraged me and gave me strength. But now you're not by my side. How can I find the courage to face this? If I had been more selfish back then, not letting you go if I couldn't, would everything be different? This post received tens of thousands of likes and thousands of comments, pushing me to tears. Hang in there, brother. You'll wait for your family to return. Don't be too sad. Make sure to eat well so you have the strength to bring them home. Most comments offered encouragement, but as the post's popularity surged, other types of comments emerged. I don't quite understand. If the blogger couldn't go because of work, why did the girlfriend and brother still go? Isn't that suspicious? Shouldn't they avoid raising doubts? Seeing this off-topic comment, I responded with a smile. The tickets were booked in advance. Everyone found a way to attend. I didn't want to disrupt everyone's plans because of me. Please refrain from making malicious speculations. Thank you, everyone. After posting, people began to support me again. But because I only responded to this comment, it remained at the top with likes exceeding 100,000, even though few echoed the sentiment. The number of likes indicated many agreed with my perspective. See, everyone notices this. So, when the truth emerges, it won't be abrupt. In my previous life, those two had destroyed me with public opinion. I had never posted on Weibo before. After Mia and my brother were rescued, they gave interviews to the media, recounting their survival on the deserted island. They had endured 6 months with amnesia, supporting each other through the ordeal. In that desolate environment, they even conceived a child, which was hailed as a miracle. Their love story resonated with the media and internet users, filling the online space with admiration. I, the original fiancé, became a subject of ridicule. My parents prevented me from revealing the truth and even forced me to give Mia to my brother. Mia leaned against my brother, looking at me with disdain. I don't know you. The one I love now is Joel. My brother feigned tears, kneeling before me and pleading, "Brother, please give Mia to me." Heartbroken, I watched as the media swiftly exposed our relationship. I remained silent, yet my parents accused me of leaking information to the press. Your brother has suffered so much. How can you be so cruel? Do you want to condemn Joel to death? No matter how I tried to explain, they insisted I had maliciously revealed the story to the media and intended to sever ties with me. Around this time, photos surfaced online showing my brother kneeling at my feet, along with images of me with another woman during Mia's disappearance. Although that woman was merely a friend, trolls spread rumors that she was my girlfriend, claiming I'd been unfaithful and only sought Mia after her safety was assured. Suddenly, the internet was flooded with people cursing me. I sought my family's assistance to clear my name, believing they understood my innocence, but I never anticipated they would become the final straw that broke me. Not only did they confirm the rumors, but they also blamed me for insisting on the cruise, stating that in the final days, I had backed out safely while they suffered. They claimed I felt no remorse and believed Joel and Mia deserved their fate. With even my own parents supporting these claims, who would believe me? Venturing outside, I was assaulted with rotten eggs and feces. People demanded my death. Even when I hid at home, stones were thrown at my windows. Eventually, as they had hoped, I couldn't withstand the cyberbullying any longer. On the Mid-Autumn Festival, I took my own life by slitting my wrists. Time reverted to the present. Days passed swiftly, and each news report mentioned the names of the rescued individuals, but never my brother and Mia. Even my parents had lost hope for their survival, sinking into profound sorrow. I paid a special visit to Mia's family. My actions during this period moved her parents. Although Mia and I hadn't married, on our engagement day, I had referred to them as my parents. "You are my parents too. I will never marry in this life. I'll only wait for Mia to return." Mia's mother embraced me, crying. They had only one daughter, and her loss was devastating. They immediately accepted me as their godson. I returned to my career but remained active on Weibo since the trending topic. Many people became aware of me, and my Weibo solely featured posts about my brother and Mia, amassing millions of followers. After gaining popularity, some assumed I was seeking attention. However, seeing that I never monetized my account, netizens genuinely believed me and were moved by my dedication. Numerous media outlets wanted to interview me, but I declined all offers, unwilling to appear on camera. 6 months later, the awaited day arrived when my brother and partner were rescued. They were found by a passing ship, brought back to land, and contacted us. Eagerly, I posted a Weibo update. "Mia, Joel, you're really back. This isn't a dream. I've truly waited for you." This post served as a preview, and the topic quickly trended again. I discreetly informed netizens about the pickup location before our arrival. Those chasing the trend, including the media, had already gathered. Alongside my parents and Mia's parents, we prepared eagerly to welcome them. My mother was so emotional she cried throughout the journey. "Mom, don't cry. We need to meet Joel and Mia with Joe," I comforted her, and she nodded repeatedly, wiping her tears. Upon exiting the vehicle, we finally saw the two we had longed for. After 6 months exposed to the elements, they were deeply tanned. Mia leaned against my brother, her belly prominently swollen. At that moment, everyone's expressions froze. "Mia, what's happening with your belly?" My mother reached out, her fingers trembling as she pointed to Mia's stomach. Mia recoiled into my brother's arms, looking terrified. "Who are you people? I don't know you." The rescuer explained with a sigh, "They both have amnesia. They don't remember anything." A crowd had gathered around us. I noticed the uneasy look on my brother's face, unaware that these individuals were there to live stream the event. The live broadcast had already garnered over 1 million viewers. At that moment, I covered my mouth, tears welling up as my face paled. Raising my voice for everyone to hear, I cried out, "Mia, don't you recognize me? How could you? You are my brother and my fiancé." My mother's face changed as she saw things unravel. She grabbed me and scolded, "Shut up. There are so many people here. This is a family matter. Joel, how can you show your face if you speak like that?" I pushed her away and rushed forward, grabbing Mia's hand, crying out, "Mia, I am your fiancé. Don't you recognize me? I've been waiting for you for half a year. I don't know you." Mia looked flustered and instinctively tried to shake me off, though without much force. I reacted dramatically, collapsing to the ground, my eyes rolling back as I fainted. As I lost consciousness, I saw camera flashes incessantly, and the live broadcast chat exploded with comments. This reunion ended with my collapse, and I was rushed to the nearest hospital. Upon waking, my mother bombarded me with insults. "Are you crazy? What were you thinking saying that in front of so many people? Joel and Mia have just been rescued and have amnesia. Why are you so aggressive? Do you want to humiliate them?" In this life, I hadn't had such a strained relationship with them as in my previous one. But as soon as my brother returned, their affections immediately shifted toward him. "Mom, Mia is pregnant with Joel's child. How can they treat me like this?" My shoulders trembled as the door opened and my brother entered with Mia. "I don't know you." When I regained consciousness, Joel was beside me, staying with me day and night, helping me through the difficult times. Mia leaned against my brother, her gaze determined as she spoke, touching his heart. With tears in his eyes, my brother approached me, looking timid and seemingly afraid of me. "You must be my brother. I know you're hurting, but Mia loves me now. Forcing her to be with you won't make her love you. The one who isn't loved is the third wheel. Please don't fight me for Mia. I'm begging you. I'll kneel if I have to." As he spoke, my brother knelt again. Just as he did, my parents pulled him up, seemingly putting on a show for me. Before I could respond, my mother scolded me. "Enough, Gabriel, tease your brother. He has suffered so much. Can't you be magnanimous for once?" Listening to her, I struggled to maintain the act. "Mom, I haven't said anything yet. That's enough. From now on, Mia is your brother's girlfriend. Don't discuss this outside. Joel has already suffered so much. Don't let him get hurt anymore." I covered my mouth, shouting in disbelief. "So it's okay for me to get hurt, right, Mom?" My mother glared at me, accusing. "Your brother has suffered so much. What's a little suffering for you? You're so unreasonable. What more do you want? Do you want to condemn him to death to be happy?" They blamed me. Looking at my brother holding Mia, his mouth curled into a smirk as if anticipating this scene. "Mom," I began, but he interrupted with a smirk. "Mom, stop it. Mia and I have an interview with a reporter. Let my brother rest, stay here, and reflect on yourself." My mother responded coldly, then left the room with everyone, leaving me alone. After they departed, I sighed softly. "Brother, if you crave fame so much, I'll ensure you get it." I lifted the blanket and retrieved the phone I'd secretly set up to record. The entire scene had been captured on it. My brother and Mia's interview was broadcast live. I watched them on the screen, earnestly recounting their island experience. In my previous life, they had become famous after their interview, with netizens dubbing them the deserted island couple. When I first washed ashore, I had hit my head. Upon regaining consciousness, Joel was beside me, caring for me. Food on the island was scarce, but he would share most of it with me, eating only a small portion himself. Mia spoke, gazing at my brother with a mix of admiration and shyness, moving the reporter. "Wow, that's such a touching story." Suddenly, the reporter was called away by someone from the studio, leaving my brother and Mia confused. The studio staff appeared serious, whispering among themselves and occasionally glancing at them, making Mia uneasy. "What's going on, Joel?" My brother frowned, hearing them mention something about the live broadcast and videos. Sensing something was amiss, he took out his phone to check. The live comments were not what they had expected. Instead of praise, the comments were filled with curses. The previous live broadcast and secretly recorded videos had been uploaded online. "This is disgusting. The brother and fiancée got together. These two are shameless. The blogger's family is also a bunch of freaks. I'm so angry." Imagining what the blogger must have endured at home, I thought, as Gabriel's loyal fan, I've been following him from the beginning. This makes me cry. He waited half a year for this. They should have just died on the ship. They don't deserve Gabriel's devotion. Trashy woman and man looking like wild savages, lock them up together. Gabriel deserves to shine alone. "Handsome," someone commented. "He looks like charcoal. Did a dog eat your eyes? Can't you stop attacking them personally? They just came back from the island and suffered a lot. It's normal to be tanned. They'll get lighter later." The internet was abuzz with arguments. I retweeted Mia's Weibo post with just 2 words: "No transfer." After posting, Mia's Weibo comments surged again, unified with 2 phrases. "Payback, talk is cheap, show the money, haha, this is hilarious, acting rich online and then getting exposed by the main character." Shortly after, Mia called me. Her tone was somewhat exasperated. "Gabriel, can you delete that Weibo post? I can't come up with that much money right now." "I'll transfer the money to you and I'll get back. I'll delete it once you transfer the money." My words left Mia stunned. as if she hadn't expected me to respond that way. My mother took Mia's phone and began berating me. "Are you crazy for money? Gabriel, how did I raise such a greedy son? Are you trying to take revenge on Mia? How can you be so vicious? And what's with your Weibo posts? Why are you posting all that nonsense?" Her words ignited my emotions. What's wrong with my posts? I just want them to come back. What did I do wrong? Why are you all treating me like this? How would you feel if your husband lost his memory and came back with your sister? Wouldn't you be hurt? Could you be so magnanimous? Why do you get to criticize me? Could you be so magnanimous? Why do you get to criticize me? I'm just venting my feelings. Why is everyone blaming me? I shouted, nearly on the verge of breaking down. My mother was stunned, unsure of how to respond. Mia took the phone back, attempting to reason with me. "Gabriel, I understand how you feel. It's my fault for betraying you. Can we talk in person when I get back?" Her voice was gentle, but I sneered. "Did you see my Weibo?" She paused before replying, "Yes. What do you think?" "Gabriel, I'm very moved. I didn't expect you to hold on for so long. Joel and I are both touched by everything you've done. If you're so moved, why lie? Aren't you afraid of being struck by lightning? Is it fun pretending to have amnesia?" My sudden questioning left her speechless. "I'm not lying. I really lost my memory. There's a doctor's report. Then swear right now that if you're lying, you'll be struck by lightning, hit by a car, in hell and never reincarnate." My words changed her tone. "Gabriel, aren't you going too far?" I raised an eyebrow. "What's wrong? Afraid to swear?" Mia's voice sounded frantic. "You're being unreasonable." She's very superstitious, always consulting a fortune teller before making decisions. Swearing like that was something she wouldn't dare to do. "What's unreasonable? If it's true, saying it won't matter. I think you're just pretending to have amnesia and don't dare to swear." Mia didn't swear and hung up the phone. I saved the recording on my phone and left the hospital, heading home. I moved out of the house. Before leaving, my mother looked at me as if I were an enemy. "Get out and don't come back. I never raised such a selfish son." My brother comforted her sweetly. Watching their tender moment, I felt only bitterness. "Mom, Joel is your son, but am I not your biological child too?" My words left my mother stunned. Her expression changed. "Can't you see that Joel is pretending to have amnesia?" I looked at them mockingly. My mother's face turned pale. I grabbed my suitcase and left the house. How could a mother not recognize if her son was faking amnesia? I had wanted to ask that question in my previous life, but never had the chance. Seeing my mother's expression now, I already knew the answer. Online, the situation continued to escalate. A few days later, intimate photos of me with another woman were leaked online. In the photos, I was walking side by side with the woman, eating and laughing together, appearing very intimate. An anonymous source leaked that this woman was my girlfriend, and that after my partner's accident, I quickly found a new girlfriend. The internet narrative shifted drastically, with a flood of people cursing me. "Look at the plot twist. The devoted man gets exposed. You're disgusting. Acting so devoted online while dating someone in secret. I've always suspected it. His Weibo posts were just for attention. Pa, it's all a trap by capitalists. Joel and Mia are so pitiful. They've been cyberbullied because of you, even though they're innocent. Wait, what's wrong with you all? There's no solid evidence. Why are you cursing him? Gabriel posted all that without making any money from it. How is he chasing clout?" The words defending me were drowned out by the self-righteous mods. Just like in my previous life, I was subjected to cyberbullying. My family after the incident also started stabbing me in the back. They gave vague interviews to reporters, stating they often saw me with the woman and that I stayed out all night several times, questioning our relationship. Even my parents came forward to criticize me, causing netizens to curse me even more fervently, determined to tear me apart. Mia also posted a screenshot of an 8 million yuan transfer to me, hypocritically defending me, saying everyone has their own choices and that seeing me move on and accept another relationship is a good thing. Her words only worsened the situation. My private messages were flooded with people telling me to die, saying I didn't deserve to live. I called my family, calmly questioning why they were spreading rumors online. That woman is just my business partner. You all know I don't have a girlfriend. My mother's tone was evasive and guilty. What rumors did I spread? Did I say she was your girlfriend? You did go out with her several times, and I wasn't wrong. I laughed bitterly. How is what you said different from spreading rumors, Mom? Everyone online is cursing me. Aren't you afraid of pushing me to my death? What did I push you to do? You seem perfectly fine, even arguing with me after saying this. She seemed to realize her guilt and began trying to comfort me. People online are just cursing. In a few days, no one will remember you. Why do you care? I laughed, almost in tears. I hope you think the same when you go through this. Hanging up the phone, I faced the overwhelming cyberbullying without responding. My brother and Mia even called to mock me, telling me to apologize to them, saying it might reduce the number of people cursing me. I ignored them, merely recording their words for later. Having lived through this once, I knew I wouldn't be as unprepared as before. I was waiting for the right moment. More than my disloyal family and partner, the real culprits were the netizens who cyberbullied me. Are you ready to face my revenge? The next day, I met with a nurse who worked at the hospital that issued the fake certificates for my brother and Mia. She handed me the documents, and when I offered her money, she looked at me steadily and shook her head. You are innocent and shouldn't suffer such slander. It's my duty to reveal the truth. I don't want your money. I reached out and hugged her tightly. It was one of the rare moments of kindness I had felt in a long time. Thank you, truly, thank you. Although my initial contact with her was purposeful, aiming to obtain evidence of their forgery, our 6 months of interaction made us friends. On the day Mia and my brother went for their checkups, I asked her to help me acquire proof of their deceit. After parting ways, I still transferred the agreed amount to her. She took a significant risk for me, and I wouldn't let her bear it without compensation. In the following days, I stayed at home, but the situation worsened. The cyberbullies had doxed me, revealing my phone number and home address. Every day, I received calls filled with insults and curses. The righteous netizens gathered at my doorstep. At night, they would knock on my door, harassing me and splashing dog blood on my entrance. One day, as I stepped outside, I was hit with rotten eggs. The person throwing them was Liv, streaming my humiliation live, cursing me while laughing hysterically. He was someone Mia had hired to push me into an emotional breakdown, forcing me to apologize on camera. His piercing laughter reminded me of my previous life. At that moment, my mental state completely shattered. I could no longer hold on. Sinking into a daze, consumed by agony, I succumbed to suicide. My body trembled as dark emotions flooded my heart, my eyes red. I stared into the camera, tears streaming down my face. I didn't cheat. They are spreading lies about me. I didn't do anything. Why are you cursing me? Why are you treating me like this? Seeing me cry, the man pushed the camera closer. Your mom admitted it. What? Is your mom lying too? Stop pretending, Gabriel. Apologize on camera. Maybe fewer people will curse you. I laughed, a broken, desperate laugh, tears reflecting my despair. Is it that only if I die will this all stop? The man hesitated for a moment. I took a step forward and screamed into the camera, venting all my grievances and refusal to let them destroy me. It is you, brainless idiots, who are killing me. You believe anything you're told. You vent your malice on a stranger. Your lives are a mess. You are clowns in reality, venting your emotions on strangers. All of you deserve to die. You, and all of you cursing me in the comments. You all deserve to die. After finishing my tirade, I ran forward. At that moment, I felt incredibly free and relaxed, as if all the gloom from my past life had lifted. I spread my arms and jumped into the river ahead of me. The comments on the live stream froze at that moment. I had always feared water since childhood, having nearly drowned after falling into a river. Everyone knew I couldn't swim, but this fear had allowed me to use the past 6 months to secretly overcome it and learn to swim. The moment I plunged into the water, my senses dulled, and I felt an unprecedented peace. After swimming until I was exhausted, I crawled to the riverbank and fell asleep right there. When I awoke, I was in a hospital. While I slept, the internet had exploded with audio recordings and chat logs being leaked. The audio featured a phone conversation between Mia and a doctor. Mia offered 1 million won to have the hospital issue a fake amnesia certificate. The audio was clear, with every word audible, unmistakably Mia's voice. The chat logs showed someone, presumably Mia, contacting a paparazzi photo seller to obtain intimate photos of me and my business partner. Mia even inquired about my relationship with the business partner, to which the person honestly replied, "They're not in a romantic relationship. She's just his business partner. Those outings were purely for work." Mia acknowledged this and then paid to keep the matter quiet, pretending it never happened. She then used these photos to hire trolls and spread rumors about me online, never imagining that everyone she contacted was part of my meticulously crafted plan. Without my involvement, how could she have so easily obtained those photos? And how coincidental that these revelations emerged right after my incident. This was all part of my strategy, devised from the very beginning, half a year ago. Every step was meticulously planned. The scandal garnered immense attention within a short period. The accounts were traced back to Mia herself. The public was in uproar. The truth surfaced, and my innocence was vindicated. Masses of people flocked to my Weibo, apologizing and expressing remorse. The latest post had over 1 million comments. "If something happens to him, all of you who cursed him are murderers. How can people be so evil? That trashy woman, the despicable man, and those disgusting parents should all go to hell." When I saw him jump into the river, my hands trembled and I couldn't stop crying. I had endured similar situations, being slandered and disbelieved by everyone, including my own parents. At that moment, I also wanted to jump, just like him. I couldn't fathom the pain he endured from the relentless cyberbullying. Dear God, please keep him safe. Please. 5 hours after the incident, the police found me. The search involved over 10,000 volunteers dedicated to locating me. After swimming for so long, I had indeed been oxygen deprived and nearly drowned several times. When I opened my eyes, my mother was by my bedside, crying and holding my hand. "I'm sorry, Gabriel. I'm sorry. It's all my fault." I shook her hand away, my voice hoarse. "Get out." She knelt by my bed, begging for my forgiveness. Seeing the regret in her eyes, I knew she was truly remorseful. But what good did that do now? I pulled her fingers away, one by one, speaking coldly. "Go and experience the pain I felt, you slanderer." I screamed loudly, and the nurse rushed in to pull my mother away and escort her out. Outside the hospital, volunteers stood guard. When they saw my parents being removed, they almost attacked them. How can people like this call themselves parents? Slandering their own son? They're worse than animals. Someone threw a drink at their faces. Once one person did it, others followed, pouring their drinks on them. It was just water, but they screamed in fear and fled with their tails between their legs. Mia issued a lawyer's statement, claiming that the chat logs and audio were fake. This move was poorly received by netizens. Her account details were exposed, and her stubbornness only intensified the public's hatred. Mia's family's company shares plummeted. Netizens called for a boycott of their products, with some even going to stores to destroy their brands. Within days, the once thriving company teetered on the brink of bankruptcy. They were in agony. If I had endured tenfold cyberbullying, they were suffering 100-fold. My parents, brother, and Mia's phone numbers were all leaked. They received non-stop calls. Changing numbers proved futile. They were tracked down each time, and the only way to avoid harassment was to turn off their phones. Online abuse could be blocked, but reality could not. All their properties were exposed. No matter where they hid, They were found. They were splashed with dog blood and feces. A video that quickly went viral showed my brother and Mia covered in feces. My brother looked utterly broken, crying and begging people to leave him alone. "Aren't you again cyberbullying? Why are you cyberbullying us?" The person filming cursed at them. "You have the nerve to say that. You cheated, leaked, and slandered. You almost drove a living person to death. You deserve this. If you don't face punishment, how can victims' rights be protected?" Unable to endure the cyberbullying, they broke down within days. My brother and the rest of the family called me begging for mercy, saying they were about to be driven to death. "Gabriel, your mom was scared into the hospital. Please tell the netizens to leave us alone. We really know we were wrong." "Brother, I was wrong. I won't be with Mia anymore. I'll give her back to you, brother. I haven't slept a single night. I'm so scared. They're harassing us all the time." Listening to their pleas for forgiveness, I calmly repeated their own words back to them. "Netizens will forget about this in a while. Why do you care so much? Just take it easy." I hung up and blocked them. The worst cyberbullies against me were also exposed. Their information was leaked. Their families, co-workers, and even their children's teachers learned who they really were. They were scorned and cursed, lost their jobs, and felt the same pain of cyberbullying I had endured. Those who once harassed me at my door now knelt there, begging for my forgiveness, pleading for a way out, asking the netizens to stop bullying them. Only when the knife cuts into their own flesh do they feel the pain. It was also revealed that the person who threw rotten eggs at me was hired by Mia to break me down and force me to apologize on camera. Now our roles were reversed. Netizens demanded that my brother and Mia go live, kneel, and apologize to me. I agreed, and to calm the situation, they agreed too. On the day of the live broadcast, my mother, father, Mia, my brother, and those who had slandered me knelt before me, crying with snot and tears, apologizing to me. I simply looked at them and smiled faintly. "I do not forgive you. I will never forgive you. You didn't let me go. So why should I let you go? You killed me once. Your remaining lives should be lived in the same pain I endured."